I saw something a while back on a video, and I want to see if it works with polymer clay. They took rubber stamps, and I have some sitting out here with different amounts of detail on them to see what works and what doesn't, if it works at all with polymer clay. I have some different colors of alcohol inks, and I have my little stamper, and I'm going to put the ink on here and then put it on the rubber stamp. This is Serenade Silver Translucent Clay. I don't know if you can pick it up, but it has a little bit of sparkle to it. I've not used this before. I have used some Serenade and I love it, but I've not used their I don't know what it's called. Their Silver Translucent's what it said on the package. So let me get this run through the pasta machine, and I will roll it through on a number 1 on my atlas. And then I'll be back and we'll see what happens and see if we can do alcohol inks on rubber stamps on polymer clay. Okay, let's see what happens. Here's my clay, and I know it's hard to see because it's such a silvery light translucent color. And I've got some purple twilight, and I'm just going to put it on one side of my thing here. I'm not sure how much it's going to take to get it to stick to this rubber stamp, so we'll see. I'm going to start with the rubber stamp that has the least amount of detail on it. And let's see what happens here. Let me get that set down. Okay. And I'm just going to press it right in the middle. And it sort of worked. Maybe that one side started drying out first. Let me lift it up and show you. But you can still see the sparkle in there. That's cool, but that part works. Okay, let's set that aside. Now, let's try it with a little bit more detailed ink or stamp. And let's try 2 colors this time. Let's try Mermaid, which is a teal. Y'all know these are my colors, right? Let's put it over here. Let's add some purple again. And I'm going to get this circle stamp. So it's half and half. Well, that turned out cool. This just may work after all. I hope with some of these really detailed ones it works nice. Now what I'm going to do with these, I have no idea. This is rolled out on a number 6. And I just wanted to try this to see if it works. So it looks like to me it's going to work. Okay, let's see if it works. wipe this off real quick. And the alcohol ink seems to be coming right off of the rubber stamp when I wipe it off with regular rubbing alcohol. So that's a good thing too. Okay, let's try the seahorse. And this is an orangey color, brownie color. It's sandal. Let's put it up at this end. And I'll get the head in there of the seahorse. And let's do some sailboat blue, which is a darker blue. Let's do our teal again. And our purple. And see what we get when we mix this many colors on this detailed of a stamp. And as you can see, my colors took over my orangey brown color. And I've got it on my hands, of course. I can never use alcohol inks without getting it all over me. And this is a different type of stamp. This stamp is not put on wood. This is put on something else. Well, if I hadn't used the yellow color on top and got more on the bottom, it may have worked better. And I don't have room to do it again. But this is on a number 1. So I see no difference between putting it on a rolled out number 6 compared to a rolled out number 1. I see no difference in that. Okay, that's a number 3. That's rolled out on a number 3. I will take that pad off of there. Let's put a new one on. Okay. I'm going to try this butterfly. And I know it's hard to see because it's one of those, I think they're called film clicking stamps. And I've got some metallic gold here. It's an alcohol ink. It has to be shut really, really well. You got to mix it. It's got one of those little metal balls on the inside. Let's do this way. Put some gold down here at the bottom. And then we're going to put some purple up here at the top. Let's put some teal here in the middle. Okay, let's see what happens when I leave it that way. And I'm going to stamp it this way. Make sure it's all covered and all wet. And I knew that was going to happen because I knew that stamp wasn't hooked on there. Let me turn this over real quick. Well, that works too. I think we're onto something here. I think one of the tricks, look at that, that's really pretty. And you've got your sparkle behind it. Like with this one, now that this ink has dried, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that silver sparkle is coming through on the ink, and it's really, really pretty. That butterfly's really pretty too. Okay, let me get some of this cleaned up because I want to do the big one next. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm bringing this piece of clay back through the pasta machine on a number 5 instead of a number 1. And this is the stamp I want to use. And I think the only difference is that if you use this type of stamp, the alcohol ink stains them a little bit. Now, whether it comes off on something else, I don't know yet. But we will find out and let you know. Okay, let me start this one with different colors. Let me take that off of there. Okay. Let's start. Okay, I got a watermelon color. that I thought I might do for her hair. I like to think you could just do sections, but I think that alcohol ink would dry too fast on your stamp. And let's do a teal. And I'm going to leave space in between these. And there has to be some purple. And let's go back in with this metallic down here on the very bottom. That's a metallic gold. I think I've got a metallic silver somewhere too. Okay. Make sure there isn't any air bubbles under your clay. I'm going to have to do this at an angle. Well, most of it came out. I think maybe, let me see if I can get this off of here now. Yeah, it's coming off pretty much. Well, I think my experiment worked pretty well. I like the mermaid, but I need to figure out ways to do it in sections, I think. And I'm not sure how to do that unless I'm using this type of a clear stamp so I can see through it. But anyhow, my experiment worked. That's all I wanted to see, if it would work on the clay, and it did. I'm not surprised how long it will hold on there, because you know alcohol inks fade. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see on that one. So I did what I set out to do, and I just set out to see if it worked, and it worked. Let me get this off of here before I make any more of a mess. Just be prepared for messes and working with alcohol inks is all I can say. And if you don't like your hands getting stained, you might want to put on some gloves. But, I mean, she worked out pretty well, actually. I think she worked out as well. I think the thinner you roll out your clay, the better it is. I don't know why that would actually make a difference, but I think it did. So here's our results for our play day. Let me adjust that camera a little bit so you can see what all's there. And the parts that really didn't take the ink on the mermaid, you can still see the imprint of the stamp. But the butterfly I really like. So our experiment worked. I like this one really well too. Our experiment worked. If you've ever done this before, let me know in the comments. And I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I do know I'm going to do more of alcohol inks on rubber stamps and do some projects, because this is really cool. So thanks so much for playing with me today. You have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and blessings.